In the grim darkness of the far future, the infamous rogue trader Jace Vanders stood on the bridge of a ship, the Torn Vengeance. Before him loomed a massive space hulk, its twisted corridors and derelict hull a remnant of a bygone era. Rumors had reached the Imperium of a chaos-infested relic aboard, but the true horror was yet to be revealed. Scanners show multiple life signs, the group mercenary reported, his voice steady, yet edged with unease. But they're wrong. Distorted. Prepare a boarding party, Vanders commanded, tightening his grip on the hilt of his power sword. We purge the Xenos, we reclaim the Hulk, and the spoils are ours. The team descended into the depths of the Space Hulk, flashlights cutting through the darkness. The air was still, filled with metallic scents that pricked at the back of their throats. As they moved ever deeper, the silence was shattered by echoes, whispers of madness that clawed at their minds. They entered a cavernous chamber, its walls adorned with strange markings, black ooze dripping from the ceiling. In the center, a pulsating object emanated a sickly green glow. The moment they approached, the floor trembled, and shadows coalesced into forms. Grotesque figures that were once human, now twisted into nightmarish necromorphs, reanimated by an unholy force, stumbled across the bay. "Engage!" he shouted as the creatures lunged forwards, their limbs distended and mouths filled with jagged teeth. Fire erupted in the cramped space, and the air filled with the sounds of screaming metal and the thud of flesh meeting ceramite. The battle was chaotic. Vanders' men were veterans of many battles, but not against a foe like this. The orc freebooter, Blacktooth, fell to the floor as the necromorphs attacked with feral rage, their bodies reforming after every blow from the greenskin's axe. In mere moments, the orc's tough body was ripped apart, limb from limb. Vanders knew this was bad. His men were slowly getting overwhelmed, but he continued fighting on with grim determination, cutting down one creature after another, but more began emerging from the shadows, each more horrifying and grotesque than the last. "Fall back," he ordered, but the corridor was a twisted nightmare. They were trapped, surrounded by the rotting remnants of the Hulk, its darkness coming alive with the echoes of their own fear. Just as hope began to dim, the crew activated a device, its humming a desperate attempt to interface with the machine spirit of the Space Hulk systems. "I can initiate a self-destruct sequence," he yelled through his translator device, his voice barely audible over the chaos around him. "Do it," Vanders commanded. The rogue trader covered him as he worked frantically, their bolters spitting death at the encroaching necromorphs. But as the crew activated the countdown, a grotesque abomination broke through an elevator shaft. It was a fusion of countless corpses. It emerged from the shadows, and its form shifting and writhing all the while. With a deafening roar, it charged forth. Vanders met the creature head-on, his power sword igniting in a blaze of righteous fury. With a brutal swing, he severed an arm, but the creature did not relent. It swiped at him, knocking him back against the wall, the impact stunning him, and he felt the cold grip of despair creeping in. In that moment, he saw his crew rallying, using the last of their strength to save their captain. Bolter fire erupted all around him, striking the creature again and again until its body fell, and collapsing into a mass of twisted flesh. And even then, the shots continued. They needed to make sure this thing was no more. With the countdown nearing its end, Vanders surged to his feet, rallying his remaining crewmates. "We need to leave, now." They fought their way through the catastrophic passages, the air thick with smoke, blood, and the stench of death. Fewer and fewer of his men were left, each one sacrificing their life to grant the others a few seconds to run away. The Hulk trembled as the self-destruct countdown reached its final seconds, alarms blaring as if the machine spirit was crying out in pain. As they reached the docking bay, they spotted their escape craft just up ahead, but more necromorphs surged forth, blocking their path. In that moment, Vanders made a choice. "Go. I'll hold them off." His crew hesitated, but he pushed them onwards. Now, go! The last of his men boarded the craft, and Vanders turned to face the horde. With a final cry of defiance, he activated a grenade, throwing it into the mass of writhing bodies. The explosion lit up the dark, but he knew it would not be enough. The torn vengeance shuddered as it detached, carrying the survivors away from the nightmare. Behind them, the Hulk erupted in a fireball, consuming the echoes of this abyss. In the safety of their ship, the surviving crew mourned the loss of their captain, knowing he had fought bravely against an unholy darkness. Vanders' sacrifice would not be forgotten. He had faced the horrors of the galaxy and defied them to the very end. And with that being said, that was yet another video from our Halloween special. So with this one, I wanted to fuse the horror aspect of a Space Hulk with something that I've been doing recently, and that is playing for the first time ever Dead Space. I feel like Dead Space is a good representation of how to do horror right in a video game, and I feel like 40k can easily dive into this aspect in a future game. Considering the success of Space Marine 2, I feel they could easily go into the horror genre and do a really good job when it comes to that aspect in the universe of 40k. You could focus on Nurgle, Khorne works well, even Slanesh, or just some type of Xenos that we're unaware of, to kind of portray that sense of hopelessness and dread within the Space Hulk. There's already been a Deathwatch game going inside of a Space Hulk and clearing it of the Gene Stealer infestation, but that was pretty much action, and that game wasn't that fun. If you look back in the channel, I actually played maybe 2 or 3 gameplays of that on there, and yeah, it wasn't the best, but I felt like mixing the horror aspect of Death Space with 40k, and that really worked really well here. So if you guys know any other genre or IP that you want me to mix for our Halloween themed videos, let me know down below. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be reading all your comments and we'll be moving forward with that. For more things 40k, be sure to stay subscribed, because again, more 40k themed Halloween videos are coming. This has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
Always used to put my freedom first.